Hello and welcome to day 55 of 100 Days of Bad Video. So today we're going to be talking about the Pygmalion Effect. And I came across the term while reading the book Who Not How. And the author gave a simple explanation. Basically, he said, it refers to a situation where a high expectation leads to improved performance and low expectation leads to worsening performance. And I immediately thought about myself and how I like to say, like most people, I work better under pressure. So in the last minute, I come in clutch. I can, high performance, high expectations, I'm going to perform. And with that thought, it kicked in like, should I really be waiting? I know procrastination is bad, and I know I should be reacting a lot sooner. So but when there's no expectations, you kind of put things off. What if I raise expectations on myself, and that way I have higher expectations myself, thereby getting it done quicker and getting the highest amount of performance out of myself. So I started playing with this in my head and, coming up with ways to do it. And I said, okay, well, let me at least do a little bit more research on the Pygmalion effect. And as I did, I learned a lot more about it. And it originally came from, they actually use it, or the term derived from teachers and how teachers interacted with students. And the more interaction or the more expectations that the teacher had of the student, the better the students did. And the lower expectations that the teacher had for the students, the lower their performance were. So, and it goes into how the expectations affect behavior. And they gave this cycle that happens with the Pygmalion effect. And the first portion of the cycle is others' expectations about us influences their behavior towards us. So think about it. Others' expectations of us influences their behavior on us. So that's outside influences, their expectations, how that their expectation influences their behavior towards us. Then the second portion comes over to us. Their behavior towards us influences how we see ourselves. So their expectation influences their behavior influences how we see ourselves. Then it goes to the third, their how we see ourselves impacts our own behavior. So their expectations affects their behavior affects how we see ourselves impacts our behavior. Then it moves towards our behavior towards others influences their beliefs and reinforces their expectations. And then the cycle continues. So it all starts with their expectations and affects their behavior towards us. And that affects the whole line. And that's the Pygmalion effect. It's just this continuous cycle. I immediately, when reading about this, I said, what about if we took away the first portion, which is their expectations affects their behavior, and we took out the third, how we see ourselves impact our own behavior? Well, not take it out, but take away their portion of it and just use, okay, if we raise our own expectations of ourselves, and if we have a higher expectation, therefore how we have a higher expectation will affect how we see ourselves, and how we see ourselves affect our behavior. Then we go around to the third portion where our expectations and how we see ourselves affect our behavior, and that affects how they see us, thereby raising their expectations, because our expectations, we raise it higher than what theirs are, and because it's higher, now it's going to raise it to the level where we are, and we're taking what they do doesn't matter. It's all about what we do. It's all internal. And that's the point where I believe if we stop looking more at, or look less at what other people think and what other people say, and look more internally about what we do, what we say about ourselves, and how we act on ourselves, removing them and really just focusing on internal, raise our expectations, which thereby will raise our behavior, which thereby will raise their expectations and behavior. Or it's not even whether it's there or not, we're taking them out. It's all about us. Everything we do should be come from internal and not external. Now, don't get me wrong. It's hard to say not external because we're going to look at and we want great feedback, but we're really focusing on us at the higher expectation of ourselves, which is we see ourselves better, influences our behavior better, and thereby people will see us better. It all starts how we see ourselves. So that's a quick talk on the Pygmalion effect. Hopefully it was helpful. And with that being said, there's only one thing left to say. Life gives you two choices. You can either run with the big dogs or you can stay on the porch with the pups. My name is Aaron Allen, and I choose to run with the big dogs. See you out there running.